Hello and welcome back to the Only One Formula YouTube channel. Today we are discussing the Australian Grand Prix, and I'm sure all of you in the same scenario as me. Max drops out of the race and you thought, wow, this is going to be an exciting day. We're going to possibly see a new race winner and there could be a strong battle here for the win. But it actually turned out to be incredibly boring, and Carlos Sainz cruised to what appeared to be quite an easy victory. He deserves full credit for what he's done. Started out the season being told that he's not driving for Ferrari next year. A nice podium in Bahrain, misses Jeddah through appendicitis, getting his appendix removed, and then he's back in Australia and he picks up the win. Like, you can't tell me that Carlos Sainz is not on fire at the moment. So he deserves full credit for what he's done, and I'm sure that was an uncomfortable drive in that car with a missing an appendix from 2 weeks ago. So hats off, Carlos Sainz. You deserve the win, and you drove flawlessly. And if I was Toto Wolff or if I was Christian Horner, I'd be having a little look closer at Carlos Sainz and see what availability they've got, because Perez might be out of a seat next year, and Mercedes do definitely have an opening. So Carlos Sainz was once in the Red Bull fold, so could he return back there? We just don't know. But he's certainly helping his case for a good career move for next year. So hats off, Carlos. You deserve the win. Leclerc brings it home for a strong 1-2 for Ferrari. Again, not much more to say than that. Leclerc had quite a quiet race, didn't really make any inroads towards Carlos Sainz, didn't really have any pressure from Lando. So a strong 1-2 for Ferrari. Well done on the day that there was someone had to take advantage, and it was Ferrari today. So McLaren, again, a good third and fourth. They strong day out today. They deserve all the points they got, but didn't really look like they were going to threaten the Ferraris. Maybe a little while you thought Norris was going to possibly catch Leclerc, but he didn't make any danger for Leclerc. So it was a good 3-4, but I think that was as good as they were going to expect today. So Max obviously been out of the race. That's somewhat of a shock. Obviously Max had a bit of a troubled weekend. Practice, he ran wide, damaged the floor, and it sounds like he's damaged the engine as well, from the bump over the curb. Whether or not Honda can repair that, we'll find out in the next few days. So I guess as for Max fans, you hope they can, just because he's one engine down for the season, which makes things a lot more difficult. So, but Perez, he had a Perez-style race, just didn't really make any inroads, makes his life difficult with qualifying, and he just didn't really make any moves that you would expect someone to do with that kind of car. So I think must do better, or he's in danger next year. Perez's job is to pick up the wins if Max isn't there for any reason. So he's going to start come under threat very shortly on the last year of his contract if he doesn't up his game. So I hope he does. I'm a Perez fan, so I seriously hope Perez sorts it out and he stays at Red Bull. I think it'd be fantastic. But yeah, the race itself, quite boring. Not a lot of on-track action. Nothing really worth noting, minus the George Russell crash.
Red flag, red flag, red flag. I'm in the middle of a track. Okay. Red flag, red flag.
Red flag, you got Stroll.
Red. I'm in the middle. Red. Fucking hell.
Chasing down Alonso. So it's been looked at and it's been investigated using the telemetry of Alonso's car to say that he was unusual in the approach to that corner, which may have caused George to make the error, make the mistake. So I don't know what side of the fence I'm on with it. I think I'm in the middle. I can understand that that's not the done thing, but I can also see that we're going racing here. Like, these guys are supposed to be the best drivers in the world, and Alonso's went for I'm going to go slow in here to get the better exit. You deploy my battery correctly. He knows the DRS straight's coming up from 6, 7, 8 and towards turn 9. So he's going to use the battery in the right place. He's going to drive accordingly. So I'm not convinced that Alonso deserved the penalty. I want to go racing. I want to watch racing. I want to watch wheel-to-wheel action. And if we look back to when Charles Leclerc and Max were doing it in Jeddah a few years ago, it was okay. It was okay, perfectly acceptable to be driving erratically in the braking zones towards the last corner because each one of them wanted to be last into that corner for the DRS detection to get round the last corner and down the straight. So the reason that was acceptable is because no one had an accident. There was no crash. But now with a crash, yep, safety is paramount. But it's the same. It's the same inconsistencies in the braking zones. So it doesn't add up. There needs to be either consistency to it or let them go racing. George Russell should have seen that he was slow. George Russell should have reacted accordingly, didn't he? Stamped on the brake pedal and he lost it. That's the end of it. George Russell did George Russell things under pressure in the heat of battle and just let them race. So, but not much else worth noting, really, to tell you the truth from the race. Kick Sauber's pit stops again. What more can you say? 3 races in, and we're now 3+ pit stops of over 30 seconds. So something that drastically needs fixed. It's the only thing that's sort of keeping them out of the points at the moment. I think without these pit stops, I think Kick might potentially move closer and be picking up a point or two. Haas picked up a double point finish here, for example, and the Sauber potentially is the quicker car over those two. So, again, sort that issue out for Kick Sauber. Yeah, Haas, again, as previously mentioned, double points finished. I think that's a phenomenal result for the team. They couldn't ask for more. So it gives them a strong 7th in the championship. And they are battling for 6th place in the championship, realistically. They now have 4 points and RB have 6 points, and realistically, Yuki Tsunoda's the only one in the RB team that's got 6 points. Daniel Ricciardo is struggling. I don't know what's going on with Daniel Ricciardo. I know in Jeddah he had an issue, but again, in Australia here, he was absolutely nowhere. And Daniel Ricciardo may cost RB 6th in the championship this year if Kick Sauber get their act together and they start picking up points. RB become under threat from not just only Haas but also the Sauber teams. So Daniel Ricciardo must do better. Or Liam Lawson's waiting in the wings. He is right there. He's fresh talent and he's motivated. So I think Daniel Ricciardo could come under fire in the next couple of races, but we'll see. Yeah, I think quite a boring race. Lewis had the engine failure. Max had the brake failure.
Yeah, I can't brake. Got the fire extinguisher ready. It's fire.
Yep, understood, Max.
It opened it up, but it didn't grow into anything exciting. So, yeah, a race that nobody's going to be remembering for much. So, what more can we say? Just want to say thank you for joining me on this one. And if you like the videos, you like the content, please feel free to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. That'd be really appreciated. And we'll see you on the next one.